The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Kids on Bikes, presented by McStabber Studios. I am your game master and storyteller. My name, or one of the three storytellers, because I love the Kids on Bike systems. My name is Ravno Sarkhan, and let's introduce our players and our characters.
Hello, I am Lonnie. I will be playing Rebecca Grace Winters. She is 11 years old, and she is the middle child of three siblings. And she's kind of nerdy. She likes to read, and she's very smart.
Not muted. Hello, I am Rev Ben Powers. I will be playing Tommy, Corey, the seventh, from a well-off family. Older brother is a complete jerk, no other siblings, and he's kind of he's that kid. He's the one who likes to push boundaries and always feels really bad about it afterwards.
I like this little group of characters, this little duo of misfits. And our game is going to be set in the fictional town of Ewards Hollow in Massachusetts Bay in 1982. But long before that, in the winter of 1692, the New England coast saw a fever running through it, mostly in Salem, Massachusetts. And this was not a fever of the body, however, but a fever of the mind. A fever of distrust washed over and ebbed all of New England. Witches were hiding amongst God's flock. Satan's own were trying to corrupt and enslave his devoted. And the Salem witch trials have been etched into historical records as one of the examples of humanity at its worst. A fear that seemed hell-bent on trying to topple and the further and further we got away from our dark past, the more we embraced it. We reveled in it. And in fact, we've hoisted it up as a model for generations. But if we do not learn from the ghosts of our past, we are doomed to forever be haunted by them. And in this fictional town, one that could very well be a mirror of your own town, we find such a haunting. In Massachusetts Bay, we find the island of Ewards Hollow. It was once a prosperous fishing and mining center. It has now become a hub for ferries traveling to and from some of the busier cities on the bay. The mining veins that once drove the island's economy have all but dried out. Fishing has also begun to dwindle, and more of the once happy faces have turned hard or even turned away from the island they called home. The people are leaving, and a sour taste dances on the tongues of those that have stayed behind. For a couple of students of the Eward Academy, the end of the summer is going to be to herald the true coming of age. New protocols have been enacted around the Hollow Quarry. Children and young adults from the Academy have been found floating in Sloan's Pond. 6 such bodies just this year, since May, have popped up. A young girl, Tabitha Dyers, aged 10. A young boy, Daniel Markinson, aged 12. A young man, Brian Thatcher, aged 14. A young lady, Summer Mathers, aged 15. A young boy named Franklin Smith, aged 13. And a young lady named Barbara Givens, aged 18. Adding to the mystery is the body of one of the teachers from the Academy, Dwight Morris, aged 28, found the day after the lunar eclipse. Mr. Morris leaves behind a wife, Shannon, and a 2-year-old boy named Benjamin. As such, signs have been placed around the perimeter of the quarry. More guards have been hired to ensure that someone is available at either gate and that they have a patrol of the perimeter established throughout the evening and throughout the day. In truth, the Hollow Quarry has been a dangerous site for many of the citizens of Eward's Hollow. Every year, there's a story of someone getting hurt, and every few years, there's a shocking death. Not all of them drowned or drowning victims. In 1977, for example, a misplaced support beam shattered, bringing down part of the tunnel on some young workers. It was relatively safe before that. There was the arson of 1972 that saw the death of a couple of young children in what was the landing estate. And though tragic, Eward's Hollow is not without its own sadness and history. Some will claim that the Hollow has been tormented since its founding, and some will claim that we bring our own misery into ourselves. Who's to say who is right? We open on a humid August weekend, the last free weekend the majority of children in Eward's Hollow have before going back to the Academy. It's Thursday, August 12th, 1982. The days are growing shorter. The chill of fall is creeping ever closer. Eye of the Tiger by Survivors at the top of the charts. Little Shop of Horrors has opened off Broadway, and last month, the whole island was treated to a complete lunar eclipse. The deep orange, almost blood red moon hung in the sky for almost 2 hours. Residents of the Overlook Apartments reported lights flashing around Old Joseph's Church across the channel. There have been fishermen complaining of having their boats untied and left floating off of Pickett's Beach with the anchors down and their engines running. Stranger still is the reports of children playing in Joseph Smith Park late at night. The sheriff and the handful of deputies are stretched thin, responding to calls from all sides of the island, and unfortunately, the island's main physician, Dr. Alexander Willoughby, has left for Salem to care for his youngest son, Wilbur. The island is left in the care of his 2 fantastic nurses, Miss Elaine Statler and Mrs. Mary Ann Jacobson. A group of kids, mostly elementary and middle school aged, are gathered at the Outlook itself, a sleepover / camping trip being watched over by the island's scoutmaster and the father of one of the boys in attendance, Mr. Joshua Mathers. His son, Jacob, is aged 11 and is part of Tommy's and Rebecca's class. There's a mantra of safety and numbers slithering from home to home. We find a trio of misfits, a duo of misfits or misunderstood, or just on the outside looking in. The excited whispers are not about them, however, but the big event coming in October to Salem, the Haunted Happenings Festival. But with a darkness rearing its head on the island, how will this small group of children fare against the shadow of the witch? We open with Joshua Mathers about to tell the last story of the night. He leans down near the fire where some of the last of the s'mores are being roasted. His ginger beard, almost like a curved lighthouse of fiery orange and reds, dancing with the shadows that come off of the campfire. And he starts, once upon a time, long ago, in the dark past of America, women were being burned at the stake for being witches. The heart of these pyres stemming from Salem, Massachusetts. Fires, he leans close. Screams, he leans closer. Agony, he pulls away. The Salem witch trials were, or are, one of the many black spots in American history. In the black of a moonless night, some say that they can see some of those very same witches skulking around Old Church Hill, and he points across the channel. Like silent sirens from a mythology all our own, they lure the curious, the wicked, and the innocent with no rhyme or reason. No reason other than revenge. For some say that the most dangerous witches, the witches that didn't have their lives immortalized in our history books, those witches were brought here. You see, long before there was a house or the fish market or the ferries, there was the church, our church. The people of Salem believed so strongly that their God above would be able to save those heathen witches if they had something concrete to believe in, instead of falling for the devil's whispers and empty promises. So they built the church as a monument to that faith. Those of you that have taken day trips across the bay know full well how majestic the old building is. And every piece of those stained glass flanks at the altar were mined here in our very own hollow. The very same hollow where if you're incredibly lucky or unlucky, depending, you can hear the old mining song on the windless night, much like tonight. And you see him pounce on his son, and he lets out a scream, and all the other kids kind of giggle. And with that, he kind of stands up, pulls his son up to his feet. All right, that's enough. It's almost midnight. Your parents would hate me if I let you stay up any later. So let's clean up and let's go to sleep.
That story is total baloney, Rebecca. There is no song. The quarry is not like that at all. Okay, I've been going there since I was a kid, and I never heard any weird, scary minor songs. And another thing, okay,
Are
there
you
is no
there?
witch.
You,
What?
but we always leave before it gets super dark, Tommy.
Nuh-uh. I go there all the time. Okay, I stay out past dark sometimes, and I have my own. You've been to my secret lair. You know that
I
it's there.
know I've been, but I'm never there when it gets super late. You know how
Well,
my
that's
parents
because you
are. I
always
have
go
to leave.
home and you listen to your mom and your dad. You don't stay out late and have fun.
I
So,
believe that listening and following rules is fun.
and I believe that that's boring, and you would have a lot more fun if you just learned to live a little bit.
Whatever.
So as you are shifting over, helping to clean up and finding your tents, what do Rebecca and Tommy look like for those of us that don't have such a baby face like some of us?
Thanks, Will. Appreciate that. Tommy looks like I do right now. He's kind of round faced and has glasses and a Red Sox hat. He never wears his school uniform buttoned up appropriately. Um, Tends to smirk a lot when he thinks something's funny. Uh, right now, he is in the process of doing very loudly, talking about how this story is completely just dumb and not true, because he actually knows better. His dad owns the quarry, and he would know if something happened. And witches aren't really real. People were just stupid back then, and they thought they were real.
Um, Rebecca, she is of average height, so she's about like 4'9", so she's relatively short but average. And she has long hair. It's longer than her older sister's hair, and she always wears it in like a braid. She, on the opposite, wears her school uniform like clean cut. It's always clean. Um, she, on the other hand, greatly believes in the story. Um, she, while doing her schoolwork, has also dabbled into reading stuff about the history of the town, and so she greatly believes these stories. No matter what Tommy says, she believes these stories at the end of the day.
Hey, I like it. You turn in. Everyone has their own tents, unless they're family members, which they're sharing tents. Um, unless they come from wealth, like Tommy and some of the other like long-standing families. Um, and it is an undetermined amount of time. It's hard to get some sleep. Uh, the sound of the waves lapping against the rocks, the occasional sound of something splashing around makes it difficult to find any purchase on sleep. And for a split second, it almost looks like there is a moment where both of you can see from one side to the other, your tent just become illuminated and just wash right to left. And then again, right to left. And it does this two more times. And then you hear what sounds like a couple of kids playing, splashing around. You know, Rebecca knows that if anyone were to get into trouble, a lot of the kids from that class would be in trouble as well.
Why
Becca, do you want to
can't
go check it
people?
out?
Yeah, but why can't people just follow the rules? It's not that hard.
Rules are dumb, okay? Rules are made by people that don't know how to have fun, and that's how they manage to make themselves feel good about themselves. They built rules so that way they would have something that they could feel proud of.
But if they get in trouble, then all of us get in trouble.
Rebecca, okay, what's the worst thing? Let's stop. What's the absolute worst thing that could happen? Okay, they tell our parents, we might get detention and we might get grounded for a day, but this is a memory that might live forever.
Fine.
Yes. Here, you deserve this. And he reaches into his backpack and pulls out a stash of candy that he has secreted there that he was not supposed to bring. There are Mars bars, Snickers bars, Twix, Reese's peanut butter cup, and some other random like saltwater taffy because it's Salem.
She like takes the candy and like puts majority of it in like her pocket and then has one of the pieces of the saltwater taffy and like starts to eat it.
You see, as you both kind of make up your minds to check out the noise, you start to crawl out towards the edge of the encampment, and the first thing you notice is the twins are standing on a rock overlooking the beach. It is Jamie and Jennifer Smith, and they both almost simultaneously look in your direction.
Uh, hey
Hey,
guys.
why are you
Uh,
both over here? We need to go back to the campsite.
Um, Also, and I don't mean to be mean, but it's really, really creepy when you both do that at the same time.
You see both their hands come up to their lips at the same time, and then they point down at the beach.
Uh, maybe you're right about this whole going to bed thing and not getting in trouble. You know what, Rebecca, you're smart. You come up with good ideas. I think that what we should do is we should all go back. Uh, you two should come too. We don't want to get grounded.
You he-
Rebecca
go-
is going to ignore what Tommy says and like walk over to where the twins are and like
Tommy
look
is going to
down.
give his most winning smile and cheeky wit, an attempt to convince them to come back over using his puckish charm.
all right. I will let you roll your charm. See if we can start earning some adversity. So normal difficulties are going to be starting at 7. You're going to be rolling every stat. For those of you that haven't played Kids on Bikes, every stat has a dice associated with it, from D4 to D20, using the 6 main dice. Luckily, we got rid of the percentile dice, which is complete and utter bullshit and a waste of a D10. But they have brains, brawn, fight and flight, and then charm and grit, 6 stats, and they get to put 1 die type associated to each of them. Tommy is one of those talker types. It looks here, Tommy has a charm of D20. So it stands to reason that anything at a difficulty 7 is going to be an easy enough roll for Tommy.
Oh, don't say it like that.
Failure is not terrible here in Kids on Bikes. Failure does give you adversity tokens, which you can use to modify rolls or to power some of your strengths. What did Tommy get for his D20 roll?
Tommy hasn't rolled yet. He was waiting
Okay.
for your explanation to finish and praying that he doesn't roll terribly.
Okay. Let's hope
Tommy
he
got
don't
an
roll terribly.
18.
Tommy got an 18.
Yes.
Oh boy. So on the guidelines for successes or failures, you definitely got 10 or higher. So the character succeeds smoothly and easily. Likely, it looks like the character is just showing off, or that the task is done so readily that it happens without any effort at all. You see that they both kind of look at you, and they do that creepy twin thing where they both kind of tilt their head at you at the same time. They look
Oh
at
God,
each
I hate
other.
that so much.
They look at each other and then they nod. Yeah, it's just Gage down there.
What? Gage is down there?
And sure
Why is
enough,
Gage down there?
you see that Gage is on the beach with what looks to be Summer Mathers and Tabitha Dyers. And as they're playing, you see Summer and Tabitha pulling on Gage, but it's not him that they're touching, it's his shadow. And they pull his shadow away from his body, and you see his body just drop like a sack of potatoes. And they start to run with his shadow towards the academy.
What the fudge?
Hey Tommy, I know this is a bad time to say I told you so, but I told you
Wait,
so.
this is not a time for I told you so. Did you see what just happened?
Listen, I
We need to
saw
go.
it.
All right, fine. Look, we need to go tell. We need to go tell Mr. Mather what's going on. Okay,
What are
and
we
this is
gonna
me
tell
saying this. That they're playing by the beach, and Gage got hurt. Gage, are you okay?
No response.
I turned to the 2 creepy twins that could have just said something instead of looking creepy.
They're not even there anymore.
Where do they go? Oh, this is. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is bad.
I just assume that when they move really fast. I don't know. They're twins. They're weird.
I mean,
Just
yeah, they're very
they just
weird, and
appear.
so is this.
the rumor is that
I
they are witches.
I don't doubt that. Okay, well, we need to do something. We can't just leave him down there. We need to get an adult. That's what we're supposed to do. We need to get an adult and not go running down there after people that steal your shadow. This is
So
a
what
stupid
are we?
dream. That's all this is. It's a dumb dream.
She's going to, when he says that, she's going to pinch him.
Ow!
It's, is it a dream? Did that hurt,
Butthead.
Tommy? Did that hurt?
You're such a butthead. You didn't have to do that.
Listen, I get it. You don't believe in stuff like this and you think everything has an explanation, but sometimes things, not all things have an explanation.
I just, the ghost stuff is just silly, okay? And that's not what this is. This is uh, Haru. This is just a station thingy, and we're just seeing things. We're probably all asleep. So let's do this. Let's go tell Mr. Mather that Gage is playing down there and that the others ran off and maybe they pushed him and maybe he got hurt.
Fine. Let's go.
Do you want to go running after them?
Not really.
Well, all right then. Why am I always the one that has to be the voice of reason?
You both turn towards the tent, and you can see Johnny and his little left hand and right hand lieutenants walking around. You can see that they will go into a tent. There's a bit of a rustle, and then you'll hear some suppressed ouch or cry or whine, and then you'll see them just kind of snickering and giggling to themselves as they come out. They haven't noticed you.
Jesus, it's Johnny. We gotta split. We gotta go around. I don't want to deal with my stupid brother right now.
Okay. You gotta, can you not talk sense into him? I get it, he's your older brother, but sometimes maybe that brotherly bond will kick in one day.
Yeah, it won't.
Okay,
He's
well,
he's
I
not
try.
he's not a he's a jerk. Okay, he's just a jerk. We gotta let's just go. You know what? We can talk about this later. We just need to go around them, and that way everything will be fine. Do you want to get another Indian burn? I don't want to get another Indian burn.
No,
Good, because
you
it's
know
either
where to
we go around
go
them.
around?
It's either we go around them, or it's wedgies until Halloween, and neither one of us wants that.
So you can go around to the east and towards the academy, or you can go around towards the west and what looks to be Bay Lane.
I'm leaving this up to Rebecca.
Bay Lane will take you through St. Peter's Church and Cemetery.
Um, let's take, let's go through the west. Why not?
Okay. So taking turns, and whichever one of you wants to go first can go first. There's no initiative system in the game. Describe for me and for us, what does St. Peter's Church and Cemetery look like?
It is, so it's a very old church, so it's kind of decomposing a little bit, like some of the roof has fallen in. Um, it's white, but because of the age and everything, there are little spots of grays that have appeared on the outside of the building. It all around just gives off you shouldn't go there vibes when you get close to it.
And the graveyard, most of the tombstones have been around since the colonial period, so they look like they're canted just due to the age, and most of the wording has been eroded by time, so they almost just look like slate, most of them covered with some kind of fungal, you know, not rot, but it's just stuck to it. A few of the stones, newer-ish ones, maybe 100 years old, have clear, dates, epitaphs, but a lot of the ones that are there have predated the founding of the country. So some are just rocks with some words that might have been people's names at some point. Uh, Others have been broken by teenagers that don't have any respect for the age of the stones. And it is always quiet there. It doesn't matter what time of day or what time of night, it is absolutely silent.
And it is just as silent as you make your way to the fence, the old, rusted, wrought iron fence that is missing some of its pieces here and there. Um, only the jagged tips make you even aware that this was a fence at some point. And as the first of you pushes themselves through an opening into the cemetery proper, a light washes over both of you and the cemetery itself, almost like the lighthouse was functioning. But
I
there's no
shriek
light
in
coming
a
from it.
undignified manner.
Noted.
Uh,
Looking
Rebecca
towards the lighthouse, there is no light.
Rebecca is a little bit calmer, but if you look at her closely, her like hands and like her fingers are twitching because she's trying to hold it in, but inside she's like terrified, but she's trying to be the tough one after she heard Tommy shriek. So
Yep. So Rebecca's fear is the lighthouse itself and ghosts. So would you say that this has activated her fear?
yes, she is
Okay.
terrified.
Okay. Tommy's is ghosts and his brother. You have since moved away from your brother, so we won't say that your fear is activated either. Because there's no actual light coming from the lighthouse, we'll say that this is only a level 1 fear for Rebecca. So you will suffer a -2 to all your rolls while this lighthouse fear is in effect. Fears can go from level 1 to level 3, and for every level, there is a -2 attached to it. So things get more difficult when you're facing your fears, but if you overcome them, they're much more exciting and exhilarating. What is one of the tombstones that catches your attention as you're walking around to try and avoid Johnny?
um, I rationally, I know that this tombstone isn't there, but he swears he sees one that says Giles Corey, um, along with the end date in the late 1600s. And the epitaph just says more weight. He shakes it off and grabs her by the hand and starts tugging her away from what they're looking at right now.
Right. You make your way past the cemetery towards the church proper. The dilapidated outside is just a crumbling facade. And it almost mirrors just how far from its origins Ewards Hollow has fallen. Uh, Inside, no one has taken up residence. Their reliquary and the kind of priest's abode has remained empty for the last about 4 or 5 years since the last big accident. But you hear an offering plate slam against the floor. Seems like someone or something is inside the church.
At that moment when that happens, Rebecca finally breaks and she starts screaming and then also hyperventilating. So she's having a bad time.
Oh no, poor Rebecca. Let's have you try to do a grit roll to try and keep some composure, try to find your inner strength, uh, and see if you can get at least an adversity token out of this. But it will be a difficulty 6 at least.
Yeah, I got a 1 because I had that -2, so I got a 1.
Okay. So you get an adversity token. You get 1 adversity so far. And remember that you can bank it to use on a roll or to use for one of your strengths. You have loyal and protective. I don't believe either one of them has a cost associated with it. Uh, Loyal says, oh no, for each adversity token that you spend to help your friend, you give them a +2 instead of a +1. And then what was the other one?
Add a +3 to rolls when defending one of your friends.
Protective.
Protective.
Yep. Excellent. And both of you are children, so both of you start with quick healing, which is that you recover from injuries much more quickly and you don't suffer lasting effects from most injuries because it is hard to keep a good kid down. So yeah, so you can use adversity on yourself. There are two kinds of situations. There's a regular situation, which is the situation that you're in right now, and then there's a snap decision situation. During a regular situation, you can use adversity on yourself or to help another because of your strength of being loyal. You actually get a bonus that you add 2 for every adversity you get to help Tommy. With snap decision situations, you can only use your adversity for yourself. There's less thought involved. You have to react much more quickly. So there's no real way to think things through or talk things out. But you are not in a snap decision situation as of yet. The scream goes off. You let out a little bit of a belt, and you both hear something scurry in the church. It does not sound like an animal. It definitely sounds like a person is scrambling to their feet and shuffling away from the origin of this scream.
Tommy hates everything about all of this. So when Rebecca starts screaming, he immediately puts a protective hand over her shoulder and starts like not dragging, but guiding her away, letting her know that her friends there, and trying to get them just out of here, away from the creepy church, away from the creepy graveyard, away from the creepy kids that stole shadows, the creepy twins, his jerk older brother that beats people up. This has not been a great last 25 minutes for Tommy, and he doesn't like it. So he's gonna do the level best he can to get his friend out of there.
So when Tommy puts his hand on her shoulder, she turns to look at him, and this is a look in her eyes that he has never seen, and it's just pure fear and terror. And she immediately just calms down a little bit and then nods like she understands and then lets him lead her out of the church.
Hey, Becca, if we don't go, we're not going to get our homework done, right? Right?
Right,
That's important,
yeah,
right?
homework, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go math. And he starts.
Does Tommy have glasses, or is that just a Ben thing?
Tommy has glasses. He takes them off so that people don't think he's a nerd sometimes. But yes, he's wearing his glasses right now because
Okay.
he grabbed them in the middle of the night.
So the thought of homework would relax someone as nerdy as Rebecca, and then the moment that you start to feel ease, you see just a wash of light over his glasses, and then again, almost like the lighthouse.
At that moment, the ease in her face kind of drops and she immediately just starts speed walking towards the door. She doesn't say anything. She's just bolting it towards the door to get out of the church.
No. Safety's that way. We need to go that way. I don't know what's going on, but hey, let's go. I got candy. We got candy. Let's go.
Listen, I need to go. I don't care which store I go out of, as long as I leave.
Let's try this one. And he points over to the gateway in the opposite direction.
And she just lets out like this frustrated sigh because now when she gets super scared like that, she also gets frustrated very
Mhm.
easily. So now she's just frustrated that now she has to keep like she can't just bolt out the other door, so she just lets out this frustrated sigh and then walks the way that he pointed to.
Yep. So you're now on Prayer Road, which
That's not ominous.
not at all, which runs west
Oof.
to east and east to west. Uh, and so you've got your decisions. You can go towards the lighthouse, which is further west, or you can go away from the lighthouse towards the academy.
Oh, there's no winning in this situation, is there?
Yeah, I believe the shadow stealing creepy kids went towards the academy. So it's either the lighthouse that is the some embodiment of my best friend's fears, or we can go after the creep. You know, I should have just let my brother kick my ass. That would have made this so much easier.
I'll let you pick this one, Tommy. I pick the last.
I don't like any of it.
Oh, neither.
This is all bad. I will. Might as well go towards the academy because you're terrified of the lighthouse. What's the closest way to get back to camp? Like to an adult? Like where's the closest adult?
Back through the cemetery.
God damn it.
That is the
Well-
straightest line from where you are right now to an adult.
Oh,
Oh, I hate all of it. Tommy fishes into his pocket for a second as time crystallizes. All right, we're going towards the lighthouse.
Why? Why?
That's
I rolled a wah 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 wah.
you rolled a want.
He doesn't know where they're going. He's just running on instinct at this point.
Yep. There is a bit of a thunder crack in the distance. You can hear it rolling, and you can feel the first dot, the first little plop of rain on your hands as you're running.
Of course
And
we do.
although the rain hasn't started, you know that it's coming. And usually the island is good about storms. They're prepared for it. There was no talk of anything like this weather coming on the news reports, and so you already know that one of the things associated with storms in Eward's Hollow is the blackouts.
All right, just to get this straight, we've got kids stealing kids' shadows, older bullies, a phantom lighthouse, creepy cemetery, the storm of the century, lots of blackouts, and creepy. Is the window for needful things anywhere immediately around here? Can we hide in there? Oh man, Tommy hates this. I love it. Let's go.
New
I just-
England.
I know. So I grab. At this point, I'm grabbing Rebecca's hand and I'm just going for it. Like we're doing dumb kid movie thing and we're just running towards where we think the good stuff is.
Yeah.
So, quick question. So, when
Mhm.
the lightning struck, did I see that we were heading towards the light?
Oh yeah, no. The moment that he pulls your hand and starts running westerly, the lighthouse becomes silhouetted in the flash of light, and with every step that you take, it only starts to get larger, longer, more looming. And although you are getting closer to it, and scientifically you know that this is supposed to happen, as you get closer to an object, it becomes bigger. This is almost supernatural. Like it starts to look like a perched owl just sitting there, its massive dome of a head just kind of waiting, looking down at you, uh, anticipating your closeness to it.
So is she still obviously freaking out at this whole lighthouse thing?
She has stopped moving. So you're pulling her, but her feet are dragging because she has just stopped moving because she is
So
physically trying to refuse to go there. She does not want to go.
She's just staring. I'm assuming she's staring at the lighthouse, eyes wide, not wanting to move. Becca.
Yeah.
2 plus 2.
4.
10. 5 times 5.
5 times 5.
6.
No. 5 times 5. That's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
7 plus 5.
7 plus 5.
3.
Well, no.
And the whole
It's
time he's
not.
getting these answers intentionally wrong because he knows that will like irk her. He's slowly guiding her. Like as she's distracted with his banter, he's just slowly bringing her along. And anytime she starts to look focused, he just throws another math problem that he barks the wrong answer to before she has a chance to say anything.
There is another lightning snap, and this flash of light illuminates the entire city. The lighthouse looks almost double its size. It is scientifically impossible. And then the streets go black, and the rain starts in earnest.
Well,
How
look
do
on the
we
bright
get
side.
back? Do you know how to get back? It's raining.
Hey, look on the bright side. It can't get any worse.
That's when you
Every
hear the
time.
low growl. Just from one of the side streets, just
Hey, maybe, Tommy, maybe you shouldn't say stuff like that out loud. Yeah, don't say that. Because it always somehow gets worse when you say things like that. Yeah.
you're not sure if it's your imagination, if it's the rain, if it's just the lighthouse, but the shadows come together from where the noise came, and slowly the paw of what looks to be a wolf emerges into the sliver of a moonlit street that you're in. And this thing is about 5.5 feet at the shoulder.
Is it in front of us or behind us?
It's in front of you. It's padding
Oh, okay.
towards you.
So, Rebecca, seeing this, immediately like rips her hand out of Tommy's and just bolts it the other direction. She's like,
All right,
doesn't know where she's going. She's just running.
sometimes you just gotta run. Rebecca has a flight of a D10. That's impressive. So let's have you roll your D10 and see what this wolf gets.
For a second, he is so baffled that she was there one moment and is now gone.
Mhm.
And then he probably sees her cutting down the street and just takes off after her.
Do I still have the -2, right?
Yeah.
I got an
Yeah.
8. I got an
Okay.
8.
Okay. I only
rolling
got.
light as well.
Yep. See if you can catch up to her. That is a.
Oh no!
Nope, that's a 1.
All right. Well, that's an adversity for you.
Yeah, it is.
Wait. Can I?
Hmm.
After she runs, she'll look back and see that he has not moved yet.
Hmm.
Can she use protective and give him is it to me, is the +3 to my roll or his roll?
+3 is to your
Okay.
to your role to protect somebody else. You can use
I will use my adversity token on.
your loyal.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would 2 more get you, Ben, on your roll?
That would get me a 3, Will, because I rolled a 1.
Hey, that's better than a 1.
I rolled a wah.
Yeah.
So that's
what a 1 sounds like.
yeah, that is what a 1 sounds like on this app. And I was going to mute it, but I feel like it really helps sell the atmosphere when I leave it with the audio on.
Sure. So 3 is your new total. You don't slip, you don't fall. You do manage to keep at least some semblance of yourself as you're trying to catch up to her, but she is booked it. So in this scenario, the wolf rolled a 2. Rebecca rolled an 8. You said. And so you've beaten him by 4 to 6. So in this effect, the attacker explains their attack and the defender explains how they respond, so that the attacker then explains how this barely mitigates harm. So we're going to reverse the roles in that you are the defender. You're going to clearly, your idea was to run away. My idea was to pounce and bring you down. So how does Rebecca avoid this shadowy wolf pouncing on her? You are looking back to try to help Tommy in the same time. So both of those kind of help you narrate.
With her brain, with her smartness, she instantly like just uses simple math and calculations, and she calculates these distance between her and this wolf, and how much time she has to get out of the way. And so while she's staring back at Tommy, she's very serious as she's staring back at Tommy. And right as the wolf is about to pounce, she, at like a inhuman almost speed, she kind of just darts out of the way and then stops running because it's in front of her now. She's like, and she's still looking back at
the meme of all the calculations just kind of falling in front of you.
Yeah.
There's that moment, and then there's that last minute dodge, and you see this shadowy creature just hit the concrete hard. The water goes everywhere, and almost frighteningly, it shifts from looking in one direction to looking in your direction, and you just see it start to get up, almost like it was always looking at you. It is very unnerving, very much like the T-1000 in Terminator 2. And then both of you notice that there's, excuse me, this oval of light that has encircled the two of you and this wolf, almost like a police helicopter's spotlight. There's no helicopter.
Oh, cool. That'd be helpful, actually. Get us the hell out of here.
Yeah. There's no helicopter, but there is a lighthouse.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's fucking lighthouse anyway.
And against all of your better instincts, you can see that this lighthouse that has been dormant since the late 1700s, early 1800s, since the last time that they tried to have it manned. It has been just this piece of architecture in the skyline. There's a fire burning at the top of this lighthouse. It is flickering between yellow, red, white, blue, and green. And every so often, you'll see two tendrils of fire just kind of lick up and outwards, almost forming these two momentary eyes that look down at you. But you are lit. It is like the lighthouse has found you. And you can hear two girls coming down the street.
This is like the eye of effing Sauron. I don't like this at all.
Need to get out of here. I'm not
I
doing.
yell for the two girls to get back because there's a giant wolf here that might eat them. And Tommy's stupid.
Maybe. But as you yell out for them to run away, you see the wolf pad backwards towards them, still looking in your direction. And into the light, you will see Summer and Tabitha step up. But there's something off about them. They don't look whole. There's a transparency to them, a kind of ghostliness to them, but they're in shadow. And as they step up into the light, you notice that they go from three-dimensional creatures to two-dimensional shadows on the ground. And it is, again, unnerving to see them just kind of slowly sink with the cone of the light until they're basically just outlines on the ground.
We should. I don't know where to go at this point. I don't want to go back to the lighthouse, but we should.
You know what?
We
We
should
can
get
go anywhere
back.
we want. This is obviously a horrible nightmare. We can do anything we want, right? There's no. This none of this is. None of this is real. This is all dumb. This is just dumb. All of this is dumb. There's no
Regardless-
stupid light in the lighthouse. It's not stupid raining. My stupid brother isn't here. The stupid wolves aren't here. This is just stupid.
The wolf
Regardless
pounces
if
on
it's-
Tommy.
Oh,
So
oh.
how does Tommy want to handle this wolf pouncing on him?
Well, since Tommy's fight rating is abysmal,
I mean, if you wanted to take the weight of the wolf, it would be brawn more than fight. But I can see that there's not that much difference.
well, I'd say he's going to try to roll out of the way, but he is firmly taken by surprise because he was in the middle of it. This is only a dream rant, and then the wolf came out. So I don't want to metagame it and said that he was clever and got out of the way.
If I had
He's-
another adversity token, I would protect you. But I don't.
He's gonna Tommy got a Tommy. I'm gonna embrace my 80s movie roots. He just keeps staring at the thing and saying, "You're not real. Wolves of your size are not indigenous to this part of New England."
Science him.
Can I try to do something?
Sure.
It might fail.
What would you like to try?
Can I try to get the wolf to come after me?
Ooh.
I'm
Sure.
going to continue to attempt to disbelieve the wolf
Okay. So
and the world.
let's have Tommy roll his brawn just in case Rebecca cannot charm the wolf towards her.
My what? My brawn? Yeah, okay.
Your brawn,
Oh.
your D6 of brawn.
Yeah. How much you want to bet I'm going to roll another wah, wah, wah.
That would be good.
That's a
another
6.
recipe. Okay.
I got a.
Rebecca has a D12 for charm.
I still have the -2, correct?
Correct.
I got a
You
4.
are now at -4 because the lighthouse is actively lighting
Well-
itself on you.
I also got a 2 then.
And-
Oof.
So I got a 6 on my brawn / disbelief check.
Okay.
Nice.
So you got a 6. That means that your die explodes, so you get to roll it again.
Nice.
That's a 7.
Oof.
That noise never gets old.
It does. Hold on. I got to just test something. No, it does roll other numbers. It just
Okay.
hasn't. Yep.
It just doesn't like you.
Just wanted to check. See
Okay.
if it rolled anything else
Uh,
but 1s and 6s.
So Luckily, you narrowed down the gap of how high this wolf got to actually pounce on top of you. You hear Rebecca calling out to it, trying to get its attention.
Throwing rocks at it.
Just calling it by its scientific name for some reason. Lupus canis or whatever.
So I would like to amend what Tommy is doing because I've thought of a very Tommy way of dealing with this.
Mhm.
As he's fighting the wolf off and trying to pry its muzzle open, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a fistful of Snickers bars and rams it into its mouth.
Okay. So the wolf pounces. Tommy tries his hardest to disbelieve in it. Just yelling out random facts that it knows about wolves in general. But it doesn't stop it whatsoever from just trucking him to the floor. And as it does take its first bite into your shoulder and it rears up for another one, your fist just jams into its mouth, full of Snickers, a baby Ruth, some whatchamacallit, and maybe
Oh, if it ain't my whatchamacallit, I'm going to be really mad.
it ate your whatchamacallit. And it just has this look like it's never tasted any of these combinations of flavors before. And it backs away as it tries to just huck it out of its mouth. The shadows of Summer and Tabitha have started to pull on your shadow since you're on the floor. And it feels odd. You can feel their hands on whatever part of the body they're touching your shadow. And it almost feels like their hands are slithering like snakes around that body part. And although they're pulling, and you can feel them pulling through your skin, through your muscle, through your bone, it is a cold sensation. And Rebecca can see the shadow starting to come apart from Tommy's body.
He is going
Get your
to,
cooties off me!
she's immediately gonna like with what little strength she has, because she's not strong. She's gonna grab his hand and as forcefully as she can just pull him off of the ground.
Okay. Let's have you do a brawn roll for Rebecca.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm already apologizing. Oh God, buddy, I'm sorry. GG.
I was going to try a flight roll to get out of to run before they do anything impermanent.
Do it. Both of you
so
can roll, so you're helping each other.
So if I have a -4, I got a 0 then because I got a 4.
All right. So you have an adversity token.
I have an 8.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
One of us is doing good things.
Rebecca just brings her hands down around one of yours and starts to pull, and you can totally feel that Rebecca is in fact more brains than brawn.
Well, he grabs her hand anyway, and then like does this unintentionally acrobatic backward roll to his feet.
Karate Kid came out, bro.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. And both of you get up onto your feet and do what?
I guess we're heading.
I think this is real. We gotta run.
Yeah, I guess we're heading to the lighthouse.
You have to go. I'm out of nougat. I don't know if they eat that.
And as both of you take up the street, running westerly towards the lighthouse, it becoming larger and larger. The light itself, not even cycling through its motions, it's just stuck on the two of you, and it's following you as you come closer. The cone getting smaller and smaller as you approach it. I think this is a good time for us to go to break.
Yeah, it sure is.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I believe where we left off before going to break is that we were following the two of you as you were running towards this spooky lighthouse that was only lighting you. Is this still the plan?
At this
I
point,
don't see what other choice
yeah.
we have.
At this point, there's no other choice we can listen.
Everywhere else are monster wolves, creepy twins that are tearing at shadows, my idiot asshole older brother, and the church, which also doesn't seem like a very nice place. So we are bereft of options. So let's do that.
Okay. You come up, you go running past the streets. They're all dark because of the blackout. The rain just pounding on the cobblestone kind of sidewalk, and a little bit of it that remains in the streets. As you come up, you can see what is usually the colorful kind of neon signs of the bar, the motel, the souvenirs, uh, Ruby's, the info center, the ferry office, the marina office itself. All of it is dark. In the distance, you can see a couple of boats, fishermen, the lights in the bay. And as you start to climb up towards the lighthouse itself, you can see that the doors are open. The fence that is usually kept up and closed to people has been kind of pushed open so that either the two of you could easily just squeeze through. And the door itself at the top of the snaking stairway that leads up to the actual lighthouse itself is ajar, and you can see what looks to be the glow of a soft yellow red, almost white source of light.
I I don't think this is a good idea. I don't. It's not usually open like this. It's a little off.
And you pull the bend. Excellent.
I muted. I know that now. I've just discovered that. I saw the light and it's over. Becca, I don't know if you've noticed, but in the last few minutes, there is literally nothing that's a good idea. There are no good ideas. We are completely and utterly bereft of good ideas. There is nothing we can do right now but keep running forward.
So again, in whatever order you want, describe the lighthouse and the grounds for us.
Um. So
It's your terror place. You go first.
um, so the lighthouse is it's a mixture of colors. It's like a blue and a white, but it's very worn down. The stairs leading up to the door are held on by the grace of Jesus, because those stairs are by the grace of the Lord. Those those stairs are still on there. Um, the ground where the lighthouse is placed, the all the grass has died, and weirdly enough, because of it's just like nothing seems to grow there. Like there's dead flowers, there's dead grass, so something's stopping anything from growing there. And it looks rough and scary, and Rebecca would like to go home now.
So the other aspect of the lighthouse, and one of the reasons why it looks so spectral from a distance, is that the bricks are made of limestone, and the quartz that is runs through the quarry is unique to this area. It is one of the reasons why paranormal investigators sometimes come here, because there's rumors that this type of quartz holds different psychic energies, and it's run through all of the limestone bricks so that when the light hits it at certain points, it almost seems to have glowing veins along the base where the larger stones are. Um, there are no real windows other than slits going up the front and back facing sides. Uh, and there is always a large old crow sitting on the top of it that looks down judgmentally at people.
The the creepy part of the crow is that sometimes it sounds like there's a heartbeat attached to it. But that's never been confirmed. You push yourselves through the fence opening, and even with the pounding rain now, every step of this wooden stone reinforced stairway just creaks heavily at your weight. It Whatever grace has kept this stairway held, it is still luckily working. The climb seems to grow darker as you get closer. It seems like the light doesn't follow you past the chain link fence that was erected to keep the lighthouse at bay from the citizens. And even the wolf and the two girls seem to hover at the chain link fence. The light inside does not move. And as your hands come up to the door and slowly begin to push it open, the faces that are gathered around this hall of candy, money, and toys are very familiar to Tommy. This is the board of directors. This is your brother's gang. All of them look wide-eyed, startled. They're not breathing.
Uh, we were just leaving.
Tommy, they're not moving or
Yeah, that's a
breathing.
good thing. If they're moving, that means they're coming after us. Now we have to get and he's just trying to like get past them as quick as possible because he knows that if he lingers within arm's reach, he's going to get a noogie or a wedgie, or he's just going to get slapped a bunch, and he doesn't want that.
Let me have both of you make a brains roll. Now, this is Rebecca's strong point. This is D20.
I am also a Viking when it comes to smarts.
You're D12. Yeah, you're not bad.
Wait, it is.
You are now. I'm gonna say you are now at a -2 because you're inside the actual lighthouse and you're facing your fear bit here.
I'm also assuming
14.
I'm at a -2 because Johnny's here.
Johnny's around, so yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say that you're a -2.
Just want to keep it fair.
Sure. I'm not gonna have a high difficulty. I think I'm just gonna have you do a difficulty 6.
Well,
I rolled a 9, so -2 would be a 7.
So you got it.
I rolled a 16, so -2 will be 14.
All right, so both of you are in enough of your faculties to notice that as Tommy is trying to desperately not get punched, wedgied, or purple nurpled, you both notice almost at the same time, Rebecca a little faster than Tommy. They don't have shadows.
I don't think we should be in here.
Yep, totally agree with you. Let's keep going.
Not because of your brother, because this They don't have shadows, Tommy.
Yeah,
We don't need to be in
that's the
here.
thing. Yeah, no, I agree. We need to get out of here. I've been saying that the whole time. I don't care whether they have no shadows, 10 shadows, or 15 shadows. They're gonna beat the living crap out of us if we stay.
So is the two girls and the wolf still at the fence?
They are still at the fence. And then you hear, Tommy? Tommy, is that you? From upstairs. It is Johnny. Johnny's voice.
Oh crap. So is Johnny down here and up there now?
No, Johnny was never part of the board of directors.
Oh, okay.
It was
All right.
just them.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I remember now. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that name. Oh crap.
Then I know you're scared of your brother, and I know he does terrible things to us. But would you rather go back down there
You don't
with the wolf
understand the kind
and the
of things
two
he does to
shadow
people.
girls?
You don't understand the kind of things he does to people, okay? This isn't we got oh no. I, I got an idea. And he tries to shove one of the board of directors out of the lighthouse towards the wolf.
The one kid just kind of tumbles over his own weight as you push him down the stairway, and he kind of goes down about a third of the way and just doesn't have enough momentum to make that hook. And he just kind of lays there, ass in the air.
What's the next plan? Because obviously that didn't go as planned, Tommy. So
We try again. I grab the other one and try to see if I can get him to go down the rest of
so
the way.
while Tommy's doing this, because at this
Yeah.
point Rebecca just wants to go home. She's like, I'm in the worst place. She is going to go try to find his brother and just say, ask
Okay.
for help at this point.
So Tommy starts to pull on the second board of director member. And as you get to the doorway, you see Rebecca start climbing the stairs of the actual inner lighthouse.
And a just dagger of hot fear hits him in the chest, and he immediately races after her. No, no, don't, Becca, no, do not go in there. Do not, no.
Tommy, let go. We need help at this point, okay?
He's not going to help us. He's going to do the opposite of help us. He's the anti-help.
The door slams shut, and all of the rain, all of the growling, all of the little girls taunting just go silent. And you are in a different world now. This feels like a different place and time.
Feels weird here. But it's I
Do I
guess
still
safe.
hear Johnny?
Yeah, you hear some kind of scuffling coming from a couple of floors up. And then you hear what sounds like a table turned over and then some running away. Stairs are being pounded hard. Cult quotes.
So is it like a circular staircase going down?
It just goes around the perimeter of this cone of a lighthouse.
Yeah,
Listen,
Tommy's terrified of his brother.
She, knowing that he's terrified, she will grab his hand and be like, "Listen, if he tries to do anything, I'll take the hit. Okay, just we have to get home. And I'm pretty sure everyone's worried, and we just have to get out of here. Okay."
There is no taking the hit. I'm not going to let you do that. We don't have to do that as long as we don't run into him.
I guess we'll have to see. And she just starts walking.
Yeah,
She's
good.
pulling.
Yeah, you go ahead and be Aragorn, okay?
You get to the first floor beyond the main floor. You can see what looks to have been some kind of old school bed. It is ripped open. The feathering has been pulled out. There's remnants of a blanket that has been ripped and shredded. There is what looks to be the graffiti of kids having written their names in. Um, some have etched their names into the furniture. There's what looks to be an old armoire that has had the shelving and the kind of bar for any of the clothes rack kind of style broken and removed. There's what looks to be a spatter of blood in the center, though. And here, the window is very visibly broken and boarded up, but the little slivers of light that you see coming in are unobstructed. Outside, you don't hear the rain, but you can hear the wind. It is whistling. It is howling. Above you, Tommy screams again, "Get away from me!"
You mean Johnny? Because I'm not screaming that yet. That'll
Johnny,
be
sorry.
soon. Okay. Don't worry, that's coming.
You chose your names.
Yeah. Thomas
I
and
think-
Jonathan. I thought it would be easier to tell the difference. All right. All right.
I think
Fine.
he's in trouble, Tommy. We need to go help your brother. Maybe.
Yeah, good. And he starts making his way up the stairs because that's what I'm supposed to do. And he wants no part of this. He part of him kind of hopes that something's trying to eat Johnny. Because if this is a nightmare, at least one good thing should come out of the nightmare. And he just shaking, scared.
Both of you give me a grits roll, please. Rebecca has a D8.
That's a thing I have.
Tommy has a D8. Okay. I will make this, since you're both at a -2, I'll take that into consideration and make this a difficulty 6.
Well, I gotta. You know, the dice hate me.
Adversity helps. If you're going to collect adversity helps.
Let's use protective and add a
Yeah, I'm actually just going to take the adversity because if you roll a 3 and then you take 2 away because you're scared, that makes it a 1.
Well,
Okay.
that puts me because I wrote a 1 and
okay.
I used a 3, so that puts me at a 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
So either way, you're both going to get adversity. And excuse me, as you come up to this next level, you can see what looks to be a turned over table, a turned over chair. There is what looks to have been some glass display case of almost a wardrobe shape case that has several shelves that have since been shattered, and there's a collection of broken what looks to be quartz animals, pairs of them. And as a lightning cracks and the light shuffles and shoves its way into the room and refracts off of these pieces, Tommy is suddenly found outside of the old church. You can see old Joseph's church, but it's just a foundation. Excuse me. You can see where the cross has been kind of marked out, where the stones have been brought, and it looks like there's an executioner's gallows. But instead of a hanging, you can see what looks to be this older gentleman, and they're just piling slabs of stones onto him. And you can hear them, "Repent, repent, sinner." And he just looks at you, "More weight." And they put another stone slab on top of him.
Yeah, Tommy's gone bye-bye. Um, just crying. Just lots of crying. So much crying.
As you break down and you can just see this older man, just unbelievable weight, the weight that must be on top of him. There's already 6 slabs when you approached. They've put on a 7th. They've asked him to repent again and again. He has coughed up blood, spit in your direction, and just deadpan. More weight. By contrast, we find Rebecca on a street corner. It is a clear day. There is not a cloud in the sky, a chill on the air, and you recognize Alice. You see her oblivious to her surroundings, and you see the car barreling down the street towards her. Rebecca was at school when this happened. She's never seen this. She doesn't know how it went down. So there's no way that this is a memory. But you see it happen. You see the impact. You see the rag doll. And you hear the screams. And then everything rewinds to just before the impact, and everything slows to 1/100th of the speed. And even your reactions, your attempts to save Alice, they are so slow, and you feel that you are thinking at normal speed. You are thinking and feeling at normal speed, but your body just won't move at that speed. And right as you take that first step, you both find yourselves just standing over these shattered animals. And you can hear Johnny again. "You're hurting me. Let go."
Tommy is clutching his chest, and all he can think about was the night that Johnny had one of his friends croak more weight by his door, and he woke up feeling his chest being pressed like rocks were being piled on it. It was really Johnny sitting on a book on his chest, making him think he was being crushed to death by the ghost of Giles Corey. Um, and there's no immediate response. He's just trying to he's trying to breathe. He's just trying to suck in air.
It wasn't Alice, by the way. It was Jason. I just read.
Yeah.
Made a
Um,
mistake.
Rebecca immediately kind of like collapses to her knees and she just starts sobbing uncontrollably, and she's kind of like insolable, and it just doesn't stop, and like the sobbings get louder as
More
she
weight,
feels
more weight, more weight, more weight, more weight.
And just like Tommy is saying, The higher you go in this lighthouse, the more everything weighs. Not just yourself, your feet, your shoes, the wet clothes, but the choices that have brought you here. Everything is weighing you down. You can start to feel the abuse from your brother and his friends with the ghost stories, the trauma of finding out that your little brother was hit by a car. Everything is starting to just feel like a vice grip on your hearts. It's getting harder to breathe.
We need we need to go. I can't do this anymore, Tommy. I can't.
Yeah. You know, look, look on the bright side. It can't get any worse.
And you hear a slurping sound, and from the slits above you, you just see this red waterfall. 3 or 4 just thin red waterfalls. And you no longer hear Johnny struggling.
Whatever it was, I think it got him, Tommy.
Bobby's gone bye-bye. Leave a message. He'll get back to you when he can. He's just staring at the red paste that probably used to be his brother, uh, dripping down from the ceiling. Uh, and yeah, I I could
There's
play Stark White Catatonia right now as role playing, but I think I'm gonna not play an 11-year-old going through Stark White Catatonia.
thank you.
Uh,
That's a brave choice.
Yeah, yeah,
Rebecca kind of pulls Tommy into a hug, and
yeah.
she
The
she
hard hug.
doesn't, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she kind of just doesn't say anything because she, granted, him and his brother had their differences, but she knows at the end of the day he loved his brother, and so she just hugs him as long as he needs her to.
And there is
Rebecca, I'm I think yeah. This time I can say 100%. It can't get any worse.
you hear the dragging sound of something coming towards the stairway.
But we need to hide, and maybe stop saying it can't get worse. Let's stop. Let's not say that anymore.
So I would like to roll a grit check
Please,
for
please do.
stupid old Tommy. Um,
We will say that you are no longer at your minuses since your brother is no longer a threat.
he's no longer a problem.
No.
Ooh,
No, the therapist will apply that penalty later.
Yep. So D8 for your
Uh,
grit.
and I can add a point of adversity to increase this.
You can add one as many adversity as you want to use. You do have 2,
Is it one for one?
1 for 1.
Then I'm going to take this roll of 6 to an 8
Okay.
because
Okay.
I really want to be brave here. So
Yeah. There is a moment um where Tommy sees, like, one, this is the closest you've ever been to Rebecca. 2, she is literally bleeding from her knees from having fallen onto, both of you are bleeding from your knees and your shins from having fallen onto these cracked uh, little toy uh, animal figurines. And you can only assume that whatever got Johnny is still hungering for more. And The images of him with the board of directors kind of tormenting you start to wash away, and you start to remember good memories of you and Johnny. What two do you think are the ones that are pushing their way through to give you this burst of heroism?
The first would probably be the time that he went to his first Red Sox game with Johnny and his dad. He was 6, and the Sox played the Yankees, and they were down by 3 around the 7th inning stretch, but they managed to come back and win. And he remembers very vividly that him, Johnny, and his dad were just so happy, and the whole crowd was going nuts, and uh, it was a massive. It was the most he's ever seen so many people happy at a time, and it was one of the few times him and Johnny, since Johnny became a teenager anyway, that he felt really close to him. And the second time was when he was getting beat up by the other 2 members of the board of directors. At one point, he looked up and saw Johnny actually looking concerned after he had gotten his his lip busted open, and called the other 2 off of him, and then came down to ask if he was all right. He quickly shifted off, don't tell mom and dad, you wuss. But for a little bit there, he could tell he was genuinely concerned. Um, and in remembering the baseball game, as he gets up, he grabs one of uh, the figurines as he's kind of coming to his feet, and it's a bear, which fitting because the Boston Bruins are another local team that he and his dad love, and he kind of has it behind his back as he's turning to face whatever's coming down the stairs.
The wind outside has gone from whistling and howling to hoots and hollering. It's the crowd at the end of the 9th inning. They are not just cheering for the Red Sox, but they're cheering for you. This is quite possibly the one of a handful of times that Tommy has found the furnace of courage in him and stoked it willingly. It's so easy to just talk your way out of things, especially given your father, especially given how your brother resorted to strength over voice. But here, this is a moment of heroism. This is Casey Jones at bat. What does this do for Rebecca, I wonder, seeing him kind of stand up and no longer standing behind you, but stepping forward? His grip on this crystalline bear, almost the most aggressive I think you've ever seen his grip.
She is shocked at first, but then she's kind of proud of him after the shock wears off, and she stands up and she basically she goes, "Well, I can't let you do this alone," and she grabs the closest thing next to her that she can use as a weapon and stands next to him.
Hey, a hole! Not afraid of you.
And sure enough, you see this tattered, ripped, brown, almost gray skirt, this skeletal, decaying foot step down from underneath it, the body shambling down the stairs, dragging Johnny with it. Its right hand looks white with green spots, almost like a body that's been underwater for some time. There's patches of moss on it. The left hand, what you can see of it, is carrying Johnny at the base of his neck. His face looks like it's been pulled from his body.
Jesus.
And as it sees you, you can see that the jaw is barely sticking to the actual skull. The little tendril of muscle is the only thing visible on one side, the decayed flesh on the other, the wild eye almost burning like the flame at the top of the lighthouse, shifting from red to orange to white to blue to green with no discernible pattern. Its other eye socket is empty, and there is a little drip of blackish water coming out of it. Its hair, what hair it has, is long and matted. The corset looks old. The silhouette itself is colonial at best. And this monstrosity turns to face the two of you. And what you can only imagine is a grin comes across its face. And it lets go of Johnny with a very soft thud as his head comes across the stairway. And it shambles down step by step until it gets to the floor that you're on.
So seeing Johnny like that, it kind of breaks something in Tommy that I am sure as he ages will inevitably turn into some kind of danger-seeking psychosis. And he's got the bear behind his back, and he just kind of looks at the thing that's across the room. Wow, you're a witch. You should learn how to cast a spell that make you less ugly. I can smell you from here. Why don't you get on your broom and fly out of here? Or better yet, why don't you shove that broom up your big ugly ass?
You see its skeletal hand just point a finger at you, and slowly its body starts to hover above the ground.
So I'm basically trying to use charm as my attack method to bait it in so I can ram the crystal bear like right into its face, preferably where the empty eye socket is. That way, because there's already a hole there, so
You
it
got a
should fit.
target.
Yep. So that's my plan.
right. How does Rebecca want to handle the situation? Seeing this is an actual witch. This is one of Rebecca's hopes and dreams, is finding an actual witch, but I don't think this is
No, this is not the one she's looking for.
the
It's not
angle
the
you
dream.
wanted. And now Tommy is instigating it.
She's going to try to stop Tommy because she can see that it's getting angry, and she's like, I don't want us to die tonight. So shut up.
Okay, so let's have both of you make a charm roll.
That is an 18.
Okay, so Tommy's trying to instigate. Rebecca's trying to talk him down from the sledge.
I got a 6. So GG,
All right.
Tommy, GG.
GG Tommy. So at least you get another adversity token, so that helps you. You are definitely now in a snap decision moment, as you have brought this witch down to bear upon you two. And
Which one are you, the wicked bitch of the north? Where's
her
my brother?
her
I'm afraid of
hand
you.
closes, and as it does, it's almost instantaneous how she closes the gap, but she's in your face, and you just hear.
And that's when the trap is sprung. Hopefully my charm check was enough to help me catch this thing off guard.
Yep.
Because if I
So-
tried to roll fight, then it's going to fail.
Well, you still have to roll fight
Well, I'm going to fail.
to stop it, but instead of its flight to avoid damage, it's gonna have to take it. So it's just gonna have to roll its brawn. And being undead, it doesn't have a lot of that.
I wanna do something, but I wanna
Yeah.
see.
Yeah,
what
you
he
see that
gets.
it shoots straight forward towards him and just starts to breathe out. And there's not smoke, but definitely like a haze that comes out of its mouth, and you can almost smell the low tide coming off of
Well,
it.
time to do crazy things.
All right, I'm
Uh,
going to roll my D4 now.
As soon as she gets in his face, I would like to push him out of the way and take, if she goes to hurt him at all, to take that instead of him
Okay.
taking it.
Oh, all right. So that'll be a fight roll from Rebecca.
That's a 3, which is actually the top 75% that I'm capable of
And
rolling.
I'm going to use an adversity token to add a +3 because I'm protecting my friend.
You are.
I was stupid and used all mine to be brave.
That's
I
fine.
got
I rolled a 1
6.
on my D4. So
I got a 6. I
nice.
got a 6.
It sure enough does not see the sneak attack coming. And as it just exhales out, trying to sicken you, your hand just comes down into this eye socket. You find your target. And just as the bear is stabbed into the skull, you feel this body push against you, and you and Rebecca go tumbling down the stairs to the lower floor. You can hear this thing wail in pain. It screeches. You can hear it scratching at the floor, at the glass. It is unbelievably angry. But you have a floor between you and it. How would you like to proceed?
First, just gonna get up and be like, first of all, that was very painful. Bad idea. But we should go before it comes down the steps. I mean, there's a little bit of time, but we need to get out of here.
What do you mean run? That thing killed my brother. And you saw what happened. It went down like a wuss.
Mommy, I know, I get it, okay? I get it. But we can't fight that thing by ourselves, okay? So we just need to go. For
I mean,
now, anyway.
even's are odds in your favor.
Odds. I'm an odd guy.
17.
Like,
She says there's nothing you can do. The best thing to do is run. And behind her, over her shoulder, on the wall, you see what looks to be the trophy of what must have been a shark in these waters, and then the old rusted harpoon that brought it low.
Oh, we're doing this. And he
What is-
grabs the harpoon, pulls it down. But he's
He's
not
like,
strong, so he has to tug at it for a few seconds.
yeah.
She's like, no, let's just go. Let's Tommy, no, stop.
Becca, help me. Becca, I can barely lift this thing. Help me.
With
The two of us together, we can do it.
With
We
every
could do it
tug,
together.
With every tug, you just hear the thump of a foot coming down the steps. there's
Becca,
a
we can do this
tug.
if we work together.
Thump, tug,
Fine.
thump,
And she like starts helping him.
and you finally wrench it off the walls. It is heavy. The wood, the long, maybe 2.5, 3.5 piece of wood as a handle, and then there's another 4.5, almost 5 feet of just iron, ending in a barbed tip. It is like holding a claymore.
But the two of us together, we can hold it like a claymore held by two children.
Correct. So let's do some brawn rolls from both of you.
Oh, okay. Let's
It's a 5.
see. Listen. Do I still have the negative or am I? No.
No, I think you're
Okay.
facing your fear at this point. So let's remove all the fear
I got a 4. Hey.
from a
On a
D4.
D4, yeah.
But explodes, so you get to roll it again.
Well, I dropped it. I keep dropping these, so I just didn't know.
Oh,
That was a
At
good
least
one.
your dice don't taunt you when you roll poorly.
that's your ninja training now, trying to avoid them.
I got a 5 altogether.
5 altogether, and Tommy got a 5.
Yep.
Okay, so 10 total. Yeah, it takes both of you holding this thing up almost like a childlike version of the commemorative image of Iwo Jima. Instead of a flag, it is a old whaling harpoon, and this thing just hisses angrily. The bear is still stuck in its eye socket, and there's a glimmer of the same kind of flickering light in its other eyeball that just kind of causes this kaleidoscope, this reverse kaleidoscope effect on the walls around you. So let's have you both roll your fights to see if you can somehow staple this thing into this body.
Would it aid me if I continue to send a barrage of insults at it?
No, it knows
Okay, I figured.
your tricks now. Luckily, its
will
flight is only a little bit higher than its
It's a
brawn.
3.
hold on. I
for-
will
for
use
fight.
my last adversity token and give him
Ooh.
and use loyalty, and that gives him a 5 total, and I will
Ooh,
take my
thank you.
4.
All right, so 5 and 4 is 9. I doubt I can beat this on a D6. 5 is not enough. It moves in a very erratic way. It is shifting right, shifting left, almost like a drunken master trying to close the gap. And you find yourselves kind of correcting, and then at the last moment, the same math that we saw Rebecca do with the wolf comes back, and there's a moment where Tommy begins to pull towards the left to correct for where he thinks she's going to move, and Rebecca holds the ground. And as there's a moment between the two of you tugging in different directions, the witch itself just, you hear that splurt as the spear tip finds purchase, not by any actual strength on your end, but by her own kind of determination to get to Tommy by whatever means necessary. And there's a moment when it looks down at this spear stuck in her. And for a moment, everything goes quiet. There's no breathing, there's no heartbeat, there's no storm. There's only the sound of stone grinding against stone that Tommy knows is Giles Corey having another slab put on top of him. There's only the sound of the last minute application of a set of brakes being applied to a car and the hard crunch of a body. And then this undead witch screams and it shatters the glass bare in her eye socket. You can hear it shatter the glass on the floor above. The wooden slats covering the windows are explode outward. The actual lens, the Fresnel, the glassware at the top of this lighthouse, you can hear it all shatter and come crashing down on the floors above you. And as the last bit of sound escapes her body, she turns to ash. The spear falls with a heavy, heavy clang and thud. And Rebecca and Tommy are left alone.
So Tommy's shoulders immediately sag, and the reality of his brother, if this is a nightmare, he should be fine, but he's pretty sure his brother's dead. Uh, and what just happened kind of takes over, and he starts crying and then grabbing things, the broken splinters of things, and dropping them on the ash pile that used to be the witch. And he just starts shrieking more weight at it over and over again, just throwing any objects he can get, piling it on top, and then he just starts stomping on them.
Rebecca, on the other hand, is weirdly calm, and she just stares at the pile of ash, and then she walks over to Tommy. She goes, we should go. It, he's dead. Let's go."
He immediately stops what he's doing and grabs her in a bear hug and starts crying into her chest.
She just hugs him. He just stands there.
You can hear the chain link fence outside just going wild. It sounds like people are clambering over it. You can see from underneath you just these cones of light sweeping the floor. You can hear what sounds like the familiar voice of the sheriff. All right, we have 2 boys outside. Let's see if anybody else is in here. But be careful. Storm threw up some glass pretty nastily. Watch your steps. And you can see one of the deputies comes up and sweeps his light in your direction. And you just hear him under his breath. "Oh my God. We got 2 alive. We got 2 alive."
Johnny's upstairs. Check on Johnny.
And the two nurses come rushing over to the two of you. One of the other deputies goes upstairs, and you can hear the sound of him just kind of dropping his gun, or his flashlight rather, and then just the sound of him vomiting at the sight of what must be Johnny. And you just hear from upstairs, Jesus, do this.
It was the witch, but she's dead now. We killed her.
And the nurses starts to pull you down the
Becca and I
stairs.
did it. Becca, we did it.
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Can I go home?
Yeah, we're gonna take care of you. And they take you outside. They sit you down in the bed of the sheriff's truck. They check you over.
He's not letting go of her hand, like the entire time. He's just locked on there.
And as the two of you are being checked, the shadow of the lighthouse seems to loom over the town. The lights are still off. It's still a blackout. Only the blues and reds and whites of the sheriff's truck, the kind of makeshift, old, classic kind of Depression era ambulance in the streets outside of the lighthouse. They wash everything. The rain is still coming down. Thunder rolls in the distance. But at least for tonight, you've stopped whatever is here in Eward's Hollow. At least for tonight, Eward's Hollow is a little safer. And that's because of you two. And this is where we come to a close for tonight. I'd like to thank the two of you. I'd like to thank the audience.
Oh my God, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We told the horror story,
Yeah, you done good.
and we get to do it 2 more times.
Great. Can't wait. I like that. This is why you said don't write that answer in for your questionnaire. Something's gonna happen. Oh man.
But
Yeah.
we told the
That was
story
fun.
together. I cannot thank you enough for that. And now I'm gonna turn it over to the disembodied voice of Shanky McStabber.
As the tech weenie for tonight's stream, I'm going to say thank you to Ravnos Archon for running Kids on Bikes, and thank you to Lanhi and Rev Ben Powers here for being in the show, because it was great. It's awesome. Of course, so you know, if you want to join us on a Discord, link will be right there in chat for the Discord. That's where these shows are cast from. We cast all of our shows from the Discord. We also do weekly hangouts where we just, gather up and chill, talk about whatever happens. Sometimes people get drunk and sing. Sometimes I even sing, which is frightening. You don't want to be part of that, trust me. But the rest of it's great. Just come and hang out. If you want to catch the back episodes, you can pop over to our YouTube. We've got back episodes of pretty much everything. World of Darkness. We've got now Kids on Bikes will be there tomorrow. You'll get Bluebeard's Bride, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Paranoia, Monster Hearts. I mean, everything except for Call of Cthulhu and D&D you'll find on our YouTube. But if you want Call of Cthulhu and D&D, pop over to the Ishvel YouTube, because that's where Tiss, who streams with us, puts her D&D and Call of Cthulhu. So it's all covered right there. If you want to catch some amazing content creators, check out our friends. One of them is the GM for tonight, and that would, of course, be Ravnos Archon there. So you can pop over to his channel, and when he's streaming, he's I think he's been tied up a bit right now between moving and, streaming 2 games a week with us. but we appreciate that for sure. And you want to get some McStabber Studios merch? We've got a merch store. I don't know if we'll have anything for kids on bikes. That's what the Discord's for, merch requests. So you can check that out. And of course, as always, bits and donations, everybody, they go to the players, not to the studio. The studio does not keep the bits and donations. That's a way for the viewers to thank the players for what they're seeing. If you want to give something to the studio, you can do that through a subscription here on Twitch or through our KoFi. But if you want to give to the players, buy them a drink. I would say buy them a McDonald's double quarter pounder meal, but those things have gotten too damn expensive now. They're like over $10 now. Good Lord. So, but if you want to give something to players, you can do that. And the schedule this week, I'm not used to doing the schedule. Normally my wife does it, but I'll do it. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Demon, The Road to Hell, which is our Demon the Fallen stream. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's season 1, episode 7. And where we're at so far is they've run down, well, they stopped a ritual that an Earthbound was starting up. And now that seems to be a lull in what's going on. And I wonder if I'm going to let them rest easy or not tomorrow. Probably not. But, they might hope so. And of course, Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Ravnos Archon is back running a Dune game with the disembodied voice of Shanky, though you'll see the actual Shanky in that one, along with Mama McStabber, Junie Von Esch, and Alex Skylark. Alex is a great guy. We're going in Dune blood-soaked stands, dealing with, well, Arrakis. And lots of murders, because Ravnos Archon has piled more murders than we know what to do with. Sunday is Windy City After Dark. It's our Vampire the Masquerade stream. That one is at 5 p.m. Eastern. And that'll be, this week we'll be on season 7, episode 6. Halfway through this season, and it's a dark vampire game where the city's on fire, and to quote one of our break video pictures, Chicago, shit's fucked here. That's just the best way to describe it. And then, of course, Monday at 8 p.m., we'll be back here doing the second episode of 3 of this Kids on Bikes miniseries. And I do thank everyone for doing it. But as always, when we end our streams here at McStabber Studios, please, everybody, take mental health seriously. Check in on family, check in on friends, check in on loved ones. Please make sure they're okay, because, frankly, a lot of people aren't. And it just takes a friendly voice, somebody to reach out to them, some sort of, safety line to pull someone off the edge. And if you do suffer from mental health issues, like many people do, this disembodied voice included, first of all, it's okay to not be okay. There's nothing wrong with admitting you need help or you suffer from mental health issues, because guess what? Mental health is health, and we all have to deal with it, and we all should take it seriously, and we should all make sure that we do what we have to take care of ourselves. And if you don't feel you have anyone you can speak to, in chat right now, there'll be a list of names and numbers you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And those numbers will have somebody on the other end of the line that will speak to you and help you from that edge, because it's important. And if you're not in the U.S., I know we have a number of viewers who are not here in the U.S. There's a website also listed in chat where you can put in your country of origin, and it will tell you the support lines you have in your country, because everyone, it's very important. Mental health is health, and we want people to be here. So we take that very seriously. And since my wife's not here, I will, since she's the nicest mean nurse, I will pass on her statement too. Please get your COVID vaccine. If you haven't gotten it yet, you should have. But if you haven't, it's not helping any right now to not have it, because there's brand new variants. And yeah, that's a problem. Of course, she's also not here, so I'm going to say this for it. A woman's right to choose is a fundamental right. What you choose to do with your own body is a fundamental right. And saying you're pro-life when what you really are is pro-forced birth, that makes women have less rights than a corpse, because you have to voluntarily sign up to give your organs. But they're taking that choice away from people. So please vote for any candidate that supports a woman's right to choose. and the trans community's right to choose, because this is bullshit, everybody. I just want to put that out there. And then finally, fuck Putin. I'm not done saying fuck Putin, and I won't be done saying fuck Putin until he's out of Ukraine, because fuck Putin. Fuck him with a chainsaw. And that should be a whole other level of horror to think about. So as the tech weenie for this amazing cast and amazing GM here, I do thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you either on the Discord or at the next stream. Good night, everybody.